It's Thursday, July 4th. I'm the Prez, Dave Cokin, the legend himself, with us like always. My co-host looking good. And Tony, Finn, really close to the camera today. Jesus, dude, move back. Okay, your camera's a little blurry, but we'll live. It's first pitch. And before we get into it, happy 4th of July for everybody, all our listeners in America. And a huge thanks to the two of you for taking time out of your day today to take apart the 4 night games tonight.
Well, there are no days off in sports betting.
Next week.
Well, and 2 extra days off next week. I will be gonzo all week long. So you will not have my presence on Thursday or Friday when they come back from the All-Star break.
Well, you won't have my presence either. I'm going to Cape Cod. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going with my incredible woman, and it's going to be a blast. The weather looks amazing. I've never been to that part of town.
I know the Cape pretty well.
What?
You know, I grew up back there, so I know the Cape pretty well. Although I imagine it's changed since I was there.
Well, I mean, 1840? Yeah, they've got cars, electricity.
I saw the best basketball game I've ever seen in my life. Was while I was at Cape Cod, and this was at Dunphy's in Hyannis, and it was the Celtics and Phoenix Suns, and I don't remember how many overtimes there were. This was in the NBA playoffs. I mean, it was just, and this place, this was you talk about. There had to be 60 guys. And we forgot the women. They were out wherever. 60 guys crowded one little area because they didn't have big screen TVs back then. There was one TV in the bar, and everybody jammed around an unbelievable basketball game. It's still the best basketball game I've ever seen.
Yeah, I kind of liked Game 6 of the championship this year.
That's pretty good too.
Yeah, and not only because the Raptors won. I mean, the actual game from start to finish was absolutely dynamite. See, everybody, Dave can do small talk, too. Anyway, Tony, what are you doing July 4th? Giving your children money?
What money? No, I'm not. I'm hiding this video. Now, my wife watches this video. I'm making sure she does not see this today because last night she complained that she said, ever since you went to work with Lawrence, we have not had one vacation. And so now you're telling her you're going to the Cape. I'm hiding the computer from her today. So I got to get to the Cape too.
I'm going to Del Mar. So it looks like you're the only one who's not in any place.
You're going to Del Mar today?
Yeah, the races.
Can you drive because you can't see.
I can drive.
You can't see. I got to drive.
You only need one good eye. And with the safety features on cars now, it's not a problem at all.
And you drive a beauty of a car, Dave.
I do. I have a very nice car.
Yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous car. Tony, listen, I can help you and your wife in the marriage situation you're in. How, might you ask? Good question. Well, I'll give you a coupon to use at WagerTalk and Sports Memo.
Nice.
And then you can use that coupon. Ultimately, if you bet Buster Sports and Andrew McGinnis's Canadian football, I think you'll be able to afford a vacation. Buster Sports 6-0 at WagerTalk.com in Canadian football, and Andrew McGinnis, get this, boys, 9-0 to start the Canadian football year. Andrew's got a huge discount running over at sportsmemo.com, $99. My girl really likes when I say 99. $99 for Andrew McGinnis, 1 month of Canadian football, and his entire season, which goes till November, is only $299. And guys, he's 9-0 to start the season. But we have a July 4th promo for everyone. 50% off all daily and 3-day packages at Sports Memo and WagerTalk. You can use the coupon as often as you like, as many times as you like at both sites. 50% off all daily and 3-day packages. The coupon code is HAPPY50. That's HAPPY50. I know a bunch of you are American, so happy is spelt with 2 P's. It's HAPPY 50. That's 50. I use it at Sports Memo and WagerTalk. Use it as many times as you want. Half off of any daily or 3-day package. Who you going to Delmar with?
Somebody.
We'll go with that. Let's get to it, boys. She's
very nice. We've been friends for we've been close for a long, long time.
So you and Marco?
No, we're staying in one room, not two.
Oh, I thought you and Marco stayed in one room.
Sweet.
What, Dave?
We had a spectacular suite last year. I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah, and Marco's big on the ponies. Let's get to it, boys. Only 4 games tonight. Most of the games are going during the day. We're going to start with the Philadelphia Phillies. They're on the road. They're playing Atlanta. Atlanta went over the total last night, exactly how the Prez predicted it. 9-2 win against Philadelphia. Atlanta finds themselves as a -1. It's all over the map, Dave. It came out at -180. We've got 166s. We got a 157 at Bet Online, and an over and under of 10.5. Of course, I'm going to the over again. I go to the over in Atlanta like I go to the washroom at 6 a.m. every day. Talk to me, Dave. Where are you going?
The Braves' prices are just so high now, especially when Soroka's on the mound, because he's recognized as one of the better pitchers around, even though his form has not been quite as sharp lately. Zach Eflin really worries me, because if he doesn't have his fastball command, he can really get lit. And this ballpark can be yielding to pitchers who are not sharp. So even though I think the price is higher than it ought to be, I can't bring myself to bet the Phillies here. I know that's where the value is, and I am a value-based handicapper, if you will, in baseball in terms of the starting point. But I don't like the Phillies in this spot, so I think the Braves will win. I don't think it's worth laying the price.
The Phillies are playing good ball. I mean, they've won 6 of 9. They're 1-1 against Atlanta with a beauty 2-0 win 2 days ago. Tony, you find any value on the Phillies? They've got to be live right now.
Here's the problem. While I don't find value on the Phillies, if you're looking to have some fun on the 4th of July and invest, I couldn't agree more than I do today with Dave, and that is that Soroka is typically overvalued. However, Eflin is problematic. I mean, his ERA, his FIP is a run higher than his ERA. He's got a mediocre strike rate at about 7.5 per 9 innings, and he's facing an Atlanta line that's healthy and hitting the ball pretty well.
So we've got 2 guys agreeing, not good enough to bet Atlanta, but they think they are going to win. San Diego on the road playing the Dodgers. Dodgers now 30 games above 500, just having an outstanding season. What did the Dodgers do last? Oh, they won. They pulled it out. I went to bed they pulled it out 5-4. I went to bed at around 3-3. I called the over in that game too yesterday, if you watched the show, Buehler versus Kelly. Tonight we've got Lament versus RYU, the hottest, finest, best pitcher in baseball right now. Although, Dave, he's on a little bit of a regression in his last 3 games. What do you like in this one?
Well, Ryu has been amazing. And I kind of throw out the last start. It was at Coors, and we know last night happened to be a low-scoring game there, but the games at Coors.
Oh, well, just to interrupt, Dave. Who called a low-scoring game at Coors last night? The Prez.
You can't lose them all as far as that goes. But because the runs have been unbelievable. I think the hitters just got tired last night. Ryu has been absolutely great, and the Dodgers just finding ways to win games even when they're not supposed to win. As you can say, that's been the case the last two nights. Lamet is back from his Tommy John, his first start back. He's a good young pitcher for the Padres, but he'll be on a very short leash here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think more than maybe 60, 70 pitches tops. So even if he pitches well, you're going to get into the softer underbelly of the Padres bullpen fairly early. And San Diego is not in good form this week. They've been really good one week, not so good the next week.
Yeah.
Back under 500 right now. I don't give them much of a shot here, to be honest with you. It's big enough so that I'm not at 230. I don't think I want to lay quite that much. But the Dodgers would be, if I'm looking for a parlay, a back end of a parlay or something, the Dodgers might not be bad here.
Yeah, and the thing with the Dodgers, and we've talked about this before, is whether they're away or home, you just can't bet them on the run line at all. Up 15 units of money for their customers on the money line, but down close to 4 units on the run line. Dave, what do you think about the under San Diego team total?
I guess that's something you could take a look at. I hadn't really even considered that. I don't really do team totals much, so I'd be just guessing. But yeah, there's a good chance they might have trouble scoring against Ryu.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Tony, what do you like in this game? San Diego lost 4 in a row. But the thing with San Diego is this seems to be a streaky team. They win today, they could go on another 4-game winning streak.
Well, they are a streaky team, and first off, the meat of their order really struggles against left-handed pitching, especially Hosmer. He has been dismal against left-handed pitching, and as pedestrian as Rue's been the last 2 games, and some regression figured 2 games back when he struggled a little bit. A lot of it had to do with, and I wrote about this in the play I played in over. It was a big play, a big ticket play on the over in that Dodgers game when Rue on the mound, the number was 7.5 or 8, and the umpire that was behind the dish that day has the smallest strike zone in baseball, in my opinion, and according to charts. So it's very difficult to back the Padres here in the situation. I don't play home teams on the run line because of the home team, and I hate giving 2 runs and possibly getting 3 less at bats or three less outs. So in this game, I watch, or as Dave said, maybe you do play. Maybe you throw that Woody line into a parlay and cash it that way.
He's Tony Finn, Dave Cokin with us. You're watching First Pitch. It's July 4th. Happy July 4th to everyone. Feel free to not gamble today, guys. Just be with your family. Spend time with your kids. Enjoy the sun. And next week, I will not be around. I'm going to Cape Cod. Hopefully we'll have Marco host the shows with maybe Drew Martin or Teddy Covers, Ralph, or Brian for Thursday and Friday. And tomorrow's show, myself, Dave Cokin, and Brian Leonard, my favorite show of the week. It is so informative. It's absolutely must listen to baseball. And don't forget our promotions over at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. The promo code HAPPY50, HAPPY50. You get 50% off any daily or 3-day package at either site. You can use it as many times as you want. Dave, massive win from Toronto yesterday against Chris Sale. Look, obviously it's not massive. This team's a disaster. They're going nowhere. But I'll tell you something, man. The talk in Toronto is, well, we're finally starting to see the team sort of shape up for where it's going to be in the future. With Biggio, with Gurriel, I've gone blank on our incredible Guerrero, and we've got Bichette coming up soon. There's hope, and now we've got our trade piece on the mound tonight. Marcus Stroman minus 105. This is a big line move, Dave. Boston came out Velasquez at minus 125. And it's been bet the other way to Toronto at minus 105 with an over and under of 10.5. Look, I can't back Toronto ever. they've got to be getting a lot of points, a lot of runs. But I will say this, something to note for next time. Toronto is really good against Chris Sale, and they showed it last night. Marcus Stroman been a hard luck pitcher all year.
Yes.
This is a straight pass for me.
Well, but if you look at the pitching, Stroman does rate an edge over Velasquez. It's a fairly clear edge.
Oh, big one, yeah.
And the Red Sox are just playing really lousy baseball. Their bullpen woes have not gotten the attention that some other teams have, and I don't know why, because their bullpen is not good. And Toronto, actually, I know they used Giles last night, and Hudson pitched. Hudson's been very good lately for Toronto. He pitched an inning at 2/3, so I don't know what Toronto does late in this game. But I actually think the Blue Jays do have an edge in this matchup. So does the market, as the Blue Jays looks like they might end up going off the favorite in this ball game. I don't think there's a ton of value at it because you're not getting what you should as far as the Blue Jays versus Red Sox. But the market and the line indicates where this game is, and I would look at the Toronto side here.
Tony, you agree with Dave on this one?
Well, I don't think there's much value. If there's value on this game, and actually I think it falls into the hands of Boston. As much of a jump from last year in many of his underlying peripherals, Stroman has improved tremendously and had some bad luck. However, his ceiling's really capped, and it's capped because he just doesn't miss enough bats. And if you're playing a Boston team who I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe they have the highest batting average against right-handed pitchers, despite the fact that they can't seem to score some runs or get the big hit. The value, in my opinion, falls on Boston today.
You know, the interesting thing of the Red Sox is I know they care, but they're playing like they don't.
You're right. You're right.
They've had a massive hangover from winning it all and having what amounted to, if there's such a thing as a perfect season, the Red Sox had it last year. I mean, they were clearly the best team in baseball last year, and they've gone in the other direction. It just hasn't come together. And, you know, if the season ends today, they're not in the playoffs, and everybody keeps talking about, well, they'll get going. We're getting close to 90 games in. I don't think they're going to get going, to tell you the truth.
So, Dave, let's talk about that for a second. You know, they're only 2 games out of the final wild card spot. Is there any value on the Red Sox in a futures environment right now?
Not as they're currently constructed. The pitching, the relief pitching is really bad. Now, I can't say if Dombrowski is a guy who is known for going out and shopping prospects at the deadline, and it's not like the Red Sox are out of this thing. So that could change if the Red Sox go into buying mode at the deadline. But I don't know. I don't know that they're going to do that. I, as a Red Sox fan, I kind of hope they don't. I mean, if they can get somebody cheap, okay, that's great. But I would not. I'd almost rather see them selling. I think they could get a haul for J.D. Martinez, who's probably not going to be there past this year anyway. Right. And I don't have a problem if they say, you know what, we've won 4 World Series since 2004. We don't have a good enough team this year. We're going to put ourselves in position to be back in contention next year and the year after. I got no problem with that.
Oh, and you know, the wild card race in the AL East. I mean, in the AL in both divisions, just tight as hell. I mean, you look down and you've got Tampa Bay and Oakland and Cleveland. Tampa Bay in 1, Cleveland and Oakland tied. And from there on, you've got Boston, Texas, the Angels. It looks like a great race shaping up. And tonight you've got the Angels in Texas again. We spoke about this when Skaggs passed away. We said the Angels are either going to go on a run or fall apart. They've gone on a nice little 2-0 run. They won last night 6-2, great hitting, great pitching. And here they are again tonight playing Texas. I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to be Texas in the last couple of games. You know, you almost want the Angels to win to sort of feel good about themselves after such a disaster occurred And then Texas has to go out there and ruin the party, which they haven't done. Tonight, Texas with Lynn on the mound. It opened at 145. There's now minus 115s on the board. 10.5 is the total. It's a big pass for me, but I would like to hear your thoughts of whether the LA Angels could continue their winning ways.
Well, the best place for the Angels to be right now is on the baseball field, because they're just out there playing ball and putting the other stuff out of their mind, which is a good thing for them at this point. So I think this has been therapeutic for them and also productive, because they've gotten back over 500. And you have to look at the Angels and say, boy, this team, they could be dangerous in the second half of the season. But the bad news is they got two things going against them tonight. One is that they're in the wrong side of an angle. Road dogs looking to score a 3-game series sweep, not the best bet. You're going to find you're better off with the home favorite in those situations. And Lance Lynn, would you believe Lance Lynn is the American League leader among pitchers in WAR, wins above replacement. That's how good Lance Lynn has been. He's been on a roll. He is a highly motivated pitcher right now. I'm not going to go against the Angels, because they've got a chemistry thing right now that's pretty positive, I think. But I am not fading Lance Lynn at home. So this game's probably going to end up a pass for me. I'm going to go back and look at it some more, because my numbers do indicate Texas, but I'm just not sure that I want to play them in this spot. The Angels have had their way in this series.
Tony, any thoughts? Canning versus Lynn? Clear edge to Lance Lynn in a short number.
Do not sleep on Lance Lynn. This is as Dave said, entering mid-June, he was about 7th in WAR. He's now the leader in WAR, and this is a guy who has a 302 FIP, a 3.8 xFIP, and his career strand rate is about 75%, pretty much a little above league average. This year, he's got these numbers with a 70% strand rate and a 345 BABIP, which means there's no regression looking him square in the eyes. There's no reason why he can't continue to do it, and he's doing it pitching in Globe Life, which is kudos to him.
One thing I will say on Lance Lynn, though, I just want to throw this in. Going back to his days at the Cardinals, Lynn did have a tendency to wear down in the second half of the season, and I would not be surprised if that happens here. He's a really hard worker. He's a max effort guy, and he's just shown wear and tear over the years. If you go back to his best years in St. Louis, he was better before the All-Star break than after. So I can't say the same pattern's going to hold, but it's something to keep in mind.
And Dave Lawrence, I like this Griffin kid. I think he's going to be a good back end rotation kid eventually. He's only 23 years old. His current ERA is a little bit of a mirage in the mid threes. His FIP is in the high fours. So this is a bad spot for Canning against Lance Lynn and a Texas team that's capable, especially against right-handed pitching.
Guys, that's the show. Real quick, just let you know, Carmine Bianco, 52-35 record in baseball this season. He has a 5% play up at WagerTalk.com. Buster Sports, 6-0 in Canadian football. He has a 5% play over at WagerTalk.com. Kevin Dolan is betting on the Pacquiao fight. That play has been up for a few weeks. I know it's July 20th, but look into that. And our promos. Andrew McGinnis, 9-0 in Canadian football to start the season. Head over to sportsmemo.com, $99 for a month, $2.99 for the rest of his season. Gentlemen, a real pleasure. Is that like everything in your bank?
Everything. Dave, I want $20 on the 5-horse in the 5th race today. This is yours.
What?
Next time I see you at the studio, this is yours, or you will give me my profits.
What track?
At Del Mar. Aren't you said you're going to Del Mar?
I'm going to Del Mar, but the horses don't start running for like 2 more weeks.
I
like Del Mar. There's no, it's not. I look if you're
Tony
racing,
Finn has been red carded for knowing nothing about horses.
Damn it! And I thought everyone thought I knew everything about horses.
Yeah, nobody did.
I know. Listen. I have a dog that looks like a horse, Marmaduke.
Your dog's called Marmaduke?
No, I call him Marmaduke when he does smart things, which he never does.
Well, let's see your dog. What's your dog look
Pace,
like?
Come here, Pace. Where is he? I don't know where he's at. Pace, come here.
What kind of? Oh, there he is.
Here he is. Come here.
What kind of dog?
Come here. He's a boxer, a boxer shepherd mix. Come here. Pace,
and I learned today that Dave Cokin has a cat.
I have an old a senior rescue. His name's Bo. He's a nice little guy.
Where is this?
Oh,
he's a beaut.
He's a nice little. Come here, Pace. Come here.
What? About 100 pounds? No, 80-something pounds. Gorgeous.
That's a big dog.
Yeah, he's only a year old too, and he is an absolute idiot. By the way,
so that fits the Finn family. That works out well. Well, at least you won't have to put him through university. I'm the Prez. The show is over. Dave, we'll see you tomorrow with Brian Leonard. Love you guys. Thanks for posting up on our YouTube channel, everybody. I read them. I comment. And
say bye.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Anybody who's licking Tony is an idiot. Be well. Happy 4th of July.
See you guys.